Hey guys, welcome. Just relax and listen. Let the story move slowly. Let your eyes grow heavy. Your breaths deepen, and sleep quietly draw you in. This is a long, calm tale. You are there yourself, walking, feeling everything with your own senses. So take no rush, just sink in and drift along. In the very first moments of dawn, when the sky has not yet fully brightened, a sound rises from within your sleep. A thin metallic note, the call of a trumpet. In the old Roman fort on the frontier, this is the signal that the day begins. Your eyes slowly open from their haze of dreams. Inside the barracks, darkness lingers, with only the faint flicker of a small lamp and the early red glow of sunrise peeking through gaps in the wooden walls. Your breath carries the chill of the morning. You slide from the thin blankets on your cot, your fingers brushing against the rough wool. Around you, other soldiers begin to stir. There is no talking, only the quiet rustle of shifting bodies, the soft scrape of sandals, a cough here and there. Everyone listens to the trumpet's echo, feeling it in the bones rather than hearing it as sound. You take in the barracks, simple and orderly. Wooden cots lined row by row, thin blankets folded neatly, shields and helmets resting against the walls. Your own belongings sit in their usual places. A slightly tarnished steel helmet you polished yesterday. A small pouch with the few personal items you keep. Everything is plain, unadorned, functional. The morning air is cold. Your feet feel stiff against the wooden floor. Slowly you rise, the floor creaking softly beneath you. Outside, the wind stirs faintly, and the faint calls of birds drift in. You reach for your helmet, feeling its bronze chill. The weight of the metal in your hands is grounding. You lift your belt, studded with small metal fittings, adjusting it carefully around your waist. The leather is firm, the strap snug, carrying your dagger at your side. Across the barracks, soldiers move in similar patterns, adjusting belts, tying sandals, tugging tunics into place. The second blast of the trumpet comes, louder this time, and everyone rises slightly quicker, though still with calm, measured movements. You pull on your tunic, coarse wool brushing against your skin, and settle the belt around your waist. The dagger feels secure. The straps of your sandals tighten over your ankles. The movements are familiar. The rhythm of dressing itself is soothing. A quiet meditation before the day begins. The soldiers begin to file toward the barracks door, shields and helmets in hand. Outside, the air is cold and clear. The sky begins to lighten with the soft gray and gold of early dawn. Rolling fields stretch beyond the fort walls, and distant hills are shrouded in mist. The trumpet blower stands in the courtyard, posture straight, trumpet lifted. Soldiers follow his signal, moving in precise lines. Your steps echo softly on the wooden planks. You feel your body waking with the rhythm, the chill fading slightly. The centurion's voice calls out, not a shout, but a calm, commanding tone. It guides without force. You walk in step, your own rhythm falling into place. The chill of dawn, the scent of wood and damp earth, the quiet sounds of comrades. Everything blends into a peaceful, attentive focus. Each soldier checks equipment briefly. Helmet fit, dagger placement, shield strap. Your hands move automatically, accustomed to the motions, while your mind still hovers in the soft boundary between sleep and wakefulness. The trumpet has faded now, leaving only the steady cadence of the barracks' quiet life. The sunlight grows slowly, glinting on bronze helmets, wooden shields, the pale wool of tunics. Everything is calm, disciplined, ready. Your body moves with purpose, your senses alert but relaxed. In this quiet dawn, the fort feels alive yet still. A small community of men bound by routine, by rhythm, by the simple certainty of duty. The trumpet was only the beginning, a gentle call to awaken, and now you are present fully, calm and steady. This first moment of the day, rising, dressing, stepping into the courtyard, is ordinary, yet carries its own weight. Each breath, each movement, each glance at a comrade echoes with quiet readiness. You are a soldier on the frontier, standing among many, grounded by routine, embraced by the calm of dawn. The day has just begun, and the story has only started. But already you feel the slow, steady pull of the routine, the rhythm that will carry you through each small, ordinary moment until the day unfolds fully before you. The trumpet's echo slowly fades, leaving behind a stillness that fills the barracks. You stand quietly, feeling the lingering chill of the dawn air pressing against your skin. Around you, the other soldiers are moving with calm, deliberate gestures. There is no rush, no frantic clatter, just the measured rhythm of men who know this routine by heart. It is the same every morning, a steady pattern that binds each day to the next. You reach for the folded woolen tunic lying neatly at the end of your cot. The fabric feels rough beneath your fingertips, thick and coarse, but it has its own warmth, a familiar comfort against the cold. Slowly, you pull it over your head. The wool scratches lightly at your neck and shoulders, but you are used to this. The tunic drapes down, its edges brushing against your thighs, its weight settling into place like an old companion. Around you, you hear the faint rustle of cloth as others dress in the same manner. No one speaks, but the quiet sounds of fabric sliding, of sandals scraping on the floor, mingle together in a hushed chorus. The air smells faintly of oil and leather, with an undertone of smoke from last night's fire. Next, you pick up your belt. It is thick, made of leather, studded with metal fittings that catch the dim morning light. The belt is more than just something to hold your tunic. It carries weight. It marks you as a soldier, and it steadies the sword that rests at your side. You wrap it firmly around your waist, feeling the snug pressure that instantly changes your posture. The leather creaks as you pull the strap tight. Then fasten the buckle with practiced ease. Hanging from it is your pugio, the short dagger every Roman soldier carries. Its handle, worn smooth from years of use, rests comfortably in your hand as you check it. The blade stays sheathed for now, but its presence is reassuring, a reminder of readiness, even on this quiet frontier morning. You glance at your caligae, the heavy sandals, laced high and reinforced with hobnails on the soles. They wait by your cot, slightly stiff from yesterday's march. You sit and begin lacing them slowly, pulling the straps over your ankles, knotting them in a way that you have done countless times before. The hobnails scrape faintly on the wooden floor as you adjust your footing, making sure each lace is firm. The sandals may seem simple, but they are built to carry you across fields, through mud, over stone roads stretching farther than the eye can see. One by one, you lift your equipment. First the shield, leaning against the wall. Its curved surface feels cool beneath your palm, the wooden grain hidden beneath layers of leather and iron. You run your fingers along its rim, feeling where the edges are worn from drills and past encounters. You lift it, testing the strap, the weight pressing against your arm. Familiar, steady, solid. Next comes your helmet. You take it gently in your hands, almost reverently. The bronze catches what little light filters into the room. You tilt it, noticing how the cheek guards swing softly, ready to frame your face. You set it down beside you for the moment. It is not. yet time to put it on. But even resting there, its presence feels important, as though it connects you to every soldier who has worn such a piece before you. The barracks is filled with these same gestures, repeated at every cot. Soldiers adjusting belts, tugging at straps, testing buckles, tightening bindings. A rhythm flows between you all, wordless but shared. It is a calm rhythm, unhurried, almost meditative. You take a breath, letting the air fill your lungs, and notice how your body feels different now. The tunic against your skin, the belt's firm pressure at your waist, the weight of dagger and shield nearby. All of it transforms you from a man who just woke into a soldier prepared for the day, not fully ready yet, but halfway there, suspended between the softness of sleep and the hardness of duty. The centurion's voice calls faintly from outside, not a shout, but a tone of certainty, of direction. It drifts into the room like a current, guiding without force. You know that soon you will step outside, into the open yard, into drills and work, into the steady order of life on the frontier. But for now, within the barracks, there is only this moment of preparation. You check once more that everything is in place. Tunic settled, belt tightened, sandals secure. You glance around. Others are finishing too. A fellow soldier slides his helmet over his head, the cheek guards clinking softly. Another adjusts the strap of his shield. A quiet calm rests over everyone, as though each movement is part of the same long breath. You rest your hand briefly on the hilt of your dagger, then let it fall to your side. There is no need for tension. The day is only beginning. The walls of the fort stand firm outside, and beyond them the frontier stretches wide and silent. For now, all that matters is the feel of the wool on your skin, the press of leather at your waist, and the quiet certainty that you are ready to face whatever small, ordinary duties lie ahead. Your heartbeat is slow, steady, as though in tune with the rhythm of every soldier around you. The barracks no longer feels like a place of sleep, but a place of readiness. You gather your shield, your helmet, and step toward the doorway with the others. The morning is waiting, and you are dressed, prepared, steady, one more soldier among many, each quietly moving forward into another day. The morning air greets you the moment you step into the yard. It is sharper now, cool against your cheeks, carrying the faint smell of damp earth and wood smoke. The sky above has softened into pale gray and streaks of faint gold, the promise of daylight spreading across the horizon. Around you, soldiers file out of the barracks in measured steps, each man carrying his shield, his helmet, his equipment. But before drills and duties begin, there is always the same pause, the same quiet ritual, the morning meal. You follow the line of men toward the barracks hall, a long wooden structure with smoke rising from its roof. Inside, the warmth embraces you at once. The fire from the central hearth glows gently, its embers still bright from the night before. A soldier stirs the pot resting above the coals, and the smell of barley porridge drifts into the air. Thick, earthy, plain, yet comforting. The benches and tables stretch down the room, rough-hewn wood polished smooth from countless meals. You take a place among your comrades. No one rushes. There is no loud chatter, no clamor. The voices that do rise are hushed, almost thoughtful, as though everyone is still half within the silence of dawn. You settle onto the bench, your shield leaning against the wall, your helmet placed carefully at your side. Wooden bowls are passed down the line, and the porridge ladled thick and steaming into each one. It is simple food, barley boiled slowly in water, sometimes flavored with a pinch of salt, sometimes left plain. The texture is heavy, filling, made not for taste, but for endurance. You take your spoon and lift the first mouthful. The porridge is warm, almost bland, but its heat spreads through you, soothing the chill that lingers from the early air. Beside the porridge, loaves of coarse bread are placed along the table. The crust is hard, cracked, the kind of bread that lasts for days without spoiling. You tear a piece with your hands, dipping it into the porridge so it softens before you chew. The flavor is simple, nothing more than grain and fire, but there is comfort in its plainness. A jug of watered wine is passed around, and you pour a small measure into your cup. The liquid is thin, diluted to keep the mind clear, but its faint sharpness balances the heaviness of the porridge. Around you, the same actions repeat. Bread breaking, spoons scraping bowls, cups lifted quietly. The sounds blend into a steady rhythm, almost like the soft murmur of rain. There is no need for conversation. The meal is not for pleasure, but for sustenance, a calm moment before the labor of the day begins. You glance at the faces around the table. Some are young, their eyes still carrying the softness of men new to the frontier. Others are older, their features hardened by years of routine, yet softened now in the glow of firelight. Each man eats steadily, his mind perhaps far away, thinking of fields back home, of families waiting, or perhaps of nothing at all, letting the warmth of food and the quiet fill the space inside. A soldier across from you carefully unwraps a small bundle. Inside is a dried fig, perhaps sent from home. He cuts it in half and shares it with the man beside him. The sweetness, rare here on the frontier, brings a faint smile, the kind that fades as quickly as it comes. Such small moments pass quietly, unnoticed by many, yet they hold a gentle weight. You continue eating, slow, deliberate. Each mouthful eases you deeper into calm, into rhythm. The porridge no longer tastes of grain, but of comfort. The bread no longer feels hard, but grounding, and the watered wine leaves only a faint warmth at the back of your throat. You find yourself sinking into the quiet, letting the ordinary act of eating become a kind of stillness. When the bowls are empty, they are stacked neatly at the end of the table. The fire still glows, its smoke curling gently upward, carrying with it the smell of barley and wood. A soldier adds another log, and the flames stir to life, crackling softly. The room is filled with that warmth, with the gentle weight of full stomachs and steady breath. Outside, the trumpet will sound again soon, calling everyone to drill, to work, to movement. But here, for this brief span of time, there is only the hush of men finishing their bread, the scrape of benches on the floor, the soft shifting of feet preparing to rise. The meal has done its work. It has filled the body, steadied the spirit, and set the tone for the day to come. You lift your cup one last time, taking the final sip of watered wine. Its faint tang lingers as you place the cup down carefully. You glance at your comrades, their faces calm, their movements unhurried. Together you stand, gathering shield and helmet once more. The door opens and the cool air slips inside again, carrying with it the scent of open fields and distant smoke. You step out with the others, leaving behind the glow of the hearth. The morning is waiting, and now, with porridge and bread in your stomach, with warmth still settling into your limbs, you are ready to meet it. The quiet breakfast fades behind you, but its calm lingers within, a steady weight that carries you forward. The morning meal leaves a calm heaviness in your body. Your stomach is warm, your breath steady, and the simple taste of bread and porridge lingers faintly. As you step outside again, the air feels different. Still cool, but now the first touches of sunlight begin to spread across the yard. The wooden walls of the fort glow faintly in the pale light, and the sounds of men moving through their routines carry softly from every corner. This is the time for inspection. Every soldier knows it, feels it, follows it without need for orders. You walk toward your place along the barrack wall, your shield resting against your side, your helmet in your hand, your sword at your belt. There is no rush, no clamor, just a quiet current that draws everyone into the same task. You begin with your sword, the gladius, the weapon that marks you as a Roman soldier. Slowly, carefully, you draw it from its sheath. The blade glimmers faintly in the morning light, its edge dulled in patches from use. You run your thumb along the flat, feeling for nicks or roughness. The metal is cold against your skin, but solid, reassuring. You reach for the small stone kept at your side, and with steady strokes, you sharpen the blade. The rasping sound is low, rhythmic, like the whisper of sand over stone. Stroke after stroke, the edge grows smooth again, the metal catching the sunlight in thin glints. Around you, others are doing the same. Some polish their helmets with oiled cloths, rubbing until the bronze gleams. Others test the leather straps on their shields, tugging them to ensure they hold firm. The air is filled with the quiet sounds of care. Metal scraping, leather creaking, cloth rubbing, buckles clicking shut. It is not noise, but a kind of music, a daily chorus that keeps everything in order. You turn your attention to your pilum, the heavy throwing spear. Its long wooden shaft feels rough beneath your hand, but the iron head is smooth, slender, sharp. You check the join, making sure it is solid, that no crack or looseness weakens it. You lean it against the wall and step back, satisfied with its readiness. Then comes your shield. You lift it carefully, setting it before you. Its surface, stretched with leather over wood, bears faint scratches from countless drills. You run your hand over them slowly, feeling the stories each mark holds. Moments of training, of practice, of readiness. You check the metal boss at the center, striking it gently with your knuckle. The sound is solid, deep, steady. You adjust the leather straps inside, testing how your arm fits, making sure it rests comfortably. The shield is heavy, but its weight is familiar, almost like the weight of responsibility itself. Finally, you reach for your helmet. You hold it in both hands, studying its smooth bronze dome, its cheek guards that swing gently on their hinges. You run a cloth across the surface, polishing away faint smudges, letting the metal glow softly. When you lift it closer, you see your reflection. Dim, distorted, but present. It reminds you that this piece of armor has shielded countless men before you, each one placing his trust in its strength. You lower it back to your side, letting it rest for now. All around you, the soldiers stand in the same quiet rhythm. Each man checks his equipment, each man ensuring nothing is loose, nothing is dull, nothing is unready. There is no hurry. The centurion walks slowly among the lines, his gaze moving from man to man. He does not shout. He watches, nods occasionally, his presence steady but calm. His footsteps crunch lightly on the earth, the only sound that breaks the chorus of scraping and polishing. You breathe deeply, feeling the smell of oil and leather in the air. It is a scent that has become part of daily life, a reminder of discipline and order. Your hands move without thought now, adjusting, checking, repeating the motions you have known since training. The routine itself is comforting. Every edge sharpened, every strap tightened, every surface polished. It is a way of bringing order not only to your weapons, but to your mind. The sunlight grows stronger as the inspection continues. The blades glint brighter, Helmets gleam more sharply. Shields reflect faint patches of sky. The fort itself seems to shine with the readiness of its men. You finish your work, sliding the gladius back into its sheath. The faint click of metal meeting leather. You rest your shield against your leg, your helmet balanced in your hands. A slow breath escapes you, steady, calm. There is no sense of battle here, no tension of war. It is simply care, discipline, the quiet assurance that everything is in its place. You glance at your comrades, their faces calm, their movements deliberate. Together, you all form the same picture. Soldiers ready, not for glory, not for conquest, but for the quiet, ordinary duties of another day on the frontier. The centurion pauses nearby, his eyes sweeping over you, then moves on. His silence is approval enough. You remain standing, the weight of your equipment grounding you, steadying you. The yard is quiet once more, filled only with the faint creak of leather, the whisper of cloth. When the inspection ends, it does not end with a shout or command. It ends naturally, as each man, satisfied with his work, rests his weapons, his armor, his tools. The rhythm fades, leaving behind only stillness. The day stretches before you, and you are ready. The weapons, polished and prepared, rest at your side. The armor gleams faintly in the growing sun, and you, calm and steady, stand among your fellows, one soldier in a long, unbroken line, prepared for whatever quiet duties the frontier holds. The duties of early morning have ended. The inspections are finished, and at last you move with the others toward the great wooden hall where the first meal of the day waits. The air outside is still cool, but already the faint warmth of the rising sun spills over the walls of the fort. Your sandals crunch softly against the packed earth of the courtyard as you follow the flow of men, each one carrying the weight of routine, but also the quiet comfort that food soon brings. The hall is plain yet welcoming. Its wooden beams rise tall, darkened with smoke from many fires over many years. The door is broad, and as you step inside, the air changes at once. Warmth greets your face, the mingled scent of wood smoke, boiling grain, and coarse bread filling the space. The low hum of voices surrounds you, not loud but steady, like a hive of quiet bees. Long benches stretch down the hall, their surfaces scarred by countless meals before. Soldiers settle themselves, shifting shields and helmets aside, leaning weapons against the wall. You take your place among them, sliding onto the wooden bench, the surface cool at first beneath your hands. The light in here is dim, a mixture of faint daylight, slipping through small slits in the wall, and the richer orange of the central hearth fire. Shadows move gently across faces, giving everyone a softened look. The food is plain yet satisfying. Bowls of steaming porridge made from barley are carried to the tables, placed before groups of soldiers. The porridge is thick, the steam rising in curling trails, carrying a smell both earthy and sweet. Beside it lies coarse bread, dark from rough flour, crust firm under your fingers. Sometimes cheese is shared, and today there is a small wedge placed in the center, cut into uneven chunks. You dip a piece of bread into the porridge, the steam warming your face. The taste is simple, the grain softened by long boiling, the bread dense but filling. Hunger makes it good enough, and the warmth spreads through your body. Around you, others eat in the same manner, dipping, chewing, swallowing slowly. No one hurries. There is time, and this meal is a ritual, a moment of pause before duties scatter the company once more. Voices rise in quiet talk. A man across the table mentions the night's watch, how the stars had been sharp and cold, the silence deep beyond the fort walls. Another speaks softly of repairs needed on his shield strap. The conversation flows like a low stream, never harsh, never breaking the calm. You listen, sometimes adding a word, but mostly you let their voices settle into the air around you, blending with the warmth of the food. At the far end of the bench, two comrades share a dried fig. One breaks it carefully, handing the half to the other, their hands brushing briefly. They smile, not with laughter, but with the quiet bond of shared hardship. Shared bread. A wicker basket rests at their feet, half filled with loaves that will be saved for later, perhaps for the midday break. The hall itself hums with this life. Spoons tapping bowls, bread crusts cracking beneath teeth, the occasional soft cough, the clink of a jug as someone pours watered wine into a clay cup. The wine is thin, more water than grape, yet it carries a faint sweetness that cuts the heaviness of the grain. You sip it slowly, feeling its warmth mingle with the porridge in your stomach. On the wall above, faint carvings of older times mark the beams. Initials, symbols, little things scratched by men long gone. You imagine their faces, their own mornings, their own bowls of porridge, now forgotten except for these marks. In some way, you sit in the same place, part of the same quiet thread. Your eyes wander toward the fire, its orange glow steady, flames curling gently around blackened logs. Sparks rise now and then, drifting upward to vanish in the darkened rafters. The fire crackles, a soft music beneath the voices. Its warmth seeps into you, makes your eyelids feel heavy, your breath slow. The centurion passes through the hall, not to shout, not to command, but simply to share the meal, to nod at men as he moves. He sits as they do, breaking bread, dipping into porridge. His presence is calm, steady, reminding you that even here, in the simplest act of eating, discipline and unity hold everything together. Soon your bowl is empty. The last bit of bread scrapes the wooden surface, soaking the final taste of barley. Your hands rest on the table, the warmth of food filling you, easing the stiffness of early morning. Around you, men finish in their own time, setting bowls aside, stretching slightly, their voices growing quieter as the meal comes to its end. You sit for a moment longer, letting the warmth linger, letting the sounds of the hall drift through you. The porridge, the bread, the watered wine, they are not luxuries, but they are enough. They carry you, sustain you, prepare you for the long hours of labor ahead. When the centurion finally rises, others follow. Benches scrape softly against the floor. Bowls are gathered. The hall slowly empties. You stand with them, placing your helmet once more at your side, fastening your belt again. The air outside will be bright now, the tasks of the day waiting. But for this moment, breakfast has been its own kind of ritual. Warmth, food, quiet company, the simple strength of bread and grain shared among brothers.